I'm a piano teacher based in Amman, and I'm really happy to be part of the New English School Career Day, since I'm actually an ex-New English School student. I started piano lessons at the age of 4 and started here in Amman. And I started sitting for exams when I progressed. I did the Associated Board of the Royal Schools of Music exams. I also did my O-level and A-level at the New English School. بعدين I applied to universities using the O-levels, A-levels, and the Associated Board exams. So I applied first to McGill University into performance. And after that, I switched majors into integrated music studies at Concordia University. And so my studies covered a lot of things. We covered the usual performance, history, theory, but we also did a lot of jazz, a lot of performances, a lot of concerts, composition, and we did some music therapy. We did some, one of the courses that I did that was really interesting was the study of the brain on music. So the piano, basically, you are reading, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the piano, but you're reading 2 separate lines at the same time and interpreting 2 separate things at the same time. So you're connecting both parts of the brain together. And it's really interesting to see that with the students. I had a 70-year-old student that she had been complaining about forgetting a lot, and it was becoming a problem. She was starting to get embarrassed by it. But a couple of months into the lesson, she said, I didn't want to say anything until I was sure, but I stopped forgetting as much. So it's really interesting to see firsthand the effect of music on, I'm not a music therapist myself, but I am able to tell, to see the difference in students. So after graduating, I worked as a piano teacher at La Salle College in Music in Canada, in Montreal. And I continued studying with my professor from university. And then a few years later, I moved back to Amman. I worked as a piano teacher as well. I worked as a music teacher, just general music. I also accompanied some choirs on the piano. It's a really interesting field to get into. I think fields are really wide. Like some people can choose to do teaching like I did. Others can choose to get into performance or composing or writing for music score or music therapy. Again, I'm not a music therapist, but one of my students is a 3-year-old child. I usually don't take students this young, but she was an exception. This student was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and it caused her to go blind. So just watching how, just using the piano, relying entirely on her ear and the sense of touch, just watching how she was making progress and learning despite her limitations. So it just goes to show that music transcends all limitations. So if you have any questions for me, I would love to answer them, but I'm going to end with playing one of my compositions. But you're going to have, sorry?
No, continue.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm going to end with one of my compositions, but you're going to have to excuse me if I'm a little rusty. I have 2 babies that never let me practice. All right, should I start?
I would love to use this. Oh, please go ahead. And after Miss Dina finishes, we'll start off with Miss Samira. And if anyone has any questions, please start typing them down in the chat box. And I'm pretty sure Miss Dina won't have a problem answering them.
I would love to.
Thank you. Go ahead. That was absolutely amazing. That was
Thank
very, very pleasant to hear. Thank you very much.
you.
Now, we'll be taking Miss Dina's question. Dina, back to you. Julia specified, how many instruments should we study or learn in a music major?
Yeah, I think, I mean, some people do major and minor in instruments, but personally, from my experience, I experiment with other instruments, but I think the preference is to completely focus on one instrument so you give it your all, because different instruments have different techniques, different ways of playing. For instance, the piano you're playing, your wrist needs to be straight, but for the violin, you would need your wrist to be bent, and it kind of it interferes with each other. So the preference is to give 100% to one instrument.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay. Okay, Miss Dina, when you went to college, did you graduate the 8 years of piano?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was how I accepted with the grade 8 performance and the grade 5 theory and the A level and the O level music. And actually, I had to, now that you mentioned it, Samira, we had to record an audition.
Okay, we have our two last questions. What kind of career options are there for music?
Sorry, career options. Oh, so you can get into performance, you can get into a teaching, you can get into music therapy, writing for film score. Off the top of my head, what else? Music. I'd say that's about it. Accompaniment. You can get into accompaniment. It's a very wide field. So it really, it's what you do with it.
Okay, thank you.